Welcome to the Embodied Empath Podcast, the space where sensitive, intuitive women learn to regulate their nervous system, heal anxiety, and live with grounded confidence. I'm your host, Valerie Lundgren. Let's begin. All right, let me start this. If you've said yes when your body was screaming no, or if you've felt responsible for other people's comfort, moods, or reactions, if you've ever stayed quiet to keep the peace, then paid for it later with anxiety, resentment, or exhaustion, this episode is for you. Welcome back to the Embodied Empath Podcast. I'm your host, Valerie Lundgren, and today we're going to be talking about the most socially rewarded survival response, but also one of the most draining, people-pleasing, or in nervous system language, the fawn response. So, people-pleasing is not kindness, it's not generosity, it's not empathy. It is a nervous system safety strategy. Fawning developed when your body learned, if I stay agreeable, I stay safe. If I manage others' emotions, I avoid conflict. If I don't upset anyone, I won't be abandoned. This isn't a flaw, this is an adaptation. So the fawn response is a blend of sympathetic activation, anxiety and vigilance, and dorsal vagal influence, self-suppression and collapse. It often develops in environments where there might be anger that felt unsafe, so it might have had an angry household and it just didn't feel safe. It also develops where there might be conflict with consequences, or your emotional needs were just minimized. You weren't listened to. Your emotions were frivolous, told to be quiet, stop crying, shutting your emotions down. Maybe love was conditional. So the only way to receive love is if you did something for somebody. Or maybe harmony mattered more than the truth, right? We had to create balance within the household. So instead of fighting, instead of fleeing, or instead of freezing, your body learned to appease, smile, soften, agree, fix, anticipate, and overgive. Your nervous system decided, this is how I survive connection. So, empaths, we already feel deeply attuned to others, right? And your nervous system conditioning makes you feel others even more deeply. So you get this hyper awareness of the tone shifts. You get a discomfort when others are uncomfortable. You have this urgency to repair the emotional tension. You have this guilt when boundaries are set. You have a fear, and I should say, guilt is your own guilt for setting a boundary. You fear that you're being too much or not enough. So instead of asking, what do I need? Your system asks, what do they need so I can relax? That's not empathy, that's survival. Here's what happens biologically. So every time you override your body's no, your nervous system registers self-betrayal. And the body doesn't like that. So it responds with anxiety, resentment, fatigue, irritability, shutdown, emotional flooding. Because safety isn't just external. Safety includes being loyal to yourself. And when you're not, the nervous system protests. So for a fawn-wired system, boundaries don't feel neutral. They feel dangerous. Because your body associates boundaries with rejection, conflict, punishment, and abandonment. So even thinking about saying no can trigger a tight chest, racing thoughts, guilt or panic, and the urge to explain or over-justify. This isn't weakness. This is a memory stored in the nervous system. Now, I personally know this all too well. I'm very much a fawn person. And it has taken me years and years of practice to be comfortable saying no and not having to over-explain or justify myself and creating that boundary. Yes, I still have moments of guilt where I might say no and I say, oh, well, I could. But I know that the other person receiving the no is receiving it with love, and they're not judging me or thinking badly upon me. These are things that I've had to teach myself and learn through the years of my healing. So it's all about learning what you can do for you and creating your boundaries. And also kind of come into a place of acceptance, right? So knowing that we can have this boundary and that we don't need to say yes to everybody and go into our people-pleasing state, which then creates this anxiety and this spiral. So we are going to go and do a somatic practice now. And this is a little boundary practice. So this is our boundary from the body. So again, these somatic practices, I ask that you do these while you're sitting at home or coffee shop or just somewhere comfortable, right? You're not driving a car. We don't want to do these while we're driving, just so that you can actually be present with what I'm guiding you through. So we're going to go ahead and begin. We're going to just find a comfortable space. So this is a non-verbal boundary practice because boundaries must be felt before they can be spoken. So let's go ahead and sit comfortably. You can put your feet on the floor. You can also lie down if that feels comfortable for you. And let's go ahead and bring your hands in close to your body. You can rest them over your belly or your heart. And take a slow breath in through your nose and exhale through the mouth. Now slowly extend your arms outward. Not fast or not forceful, just extending them out. Just until you feel that natural edge, and then pause there. Notice your breath, your jaws, your shoulders. This distance is information. Bringing the arms up over your head as you keep them straight. Bringing them up over the head and then back down, kind of like sweeping through your auric field, and we're bringing the arms back down to your legs, to the floor. Okay, go ahead and bring your arms back up over your head, up, 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 painting in the sky, expanding your fingertips and allowing them to be like a paintbrush as you bring your arm extended as far as you can outside of the body, stiff, and down, 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 painting all the way down through your auric field down to your legs. Now pause and take a moment and just feel that boundary. This teaches your nervous system, I can have space and still be safe. Boundaries don't start with words, they start with the sensation. Good, let me know how you guys feel after that boundary session. You can make comments or message me, let me know how you're feeling from that session. You can continue doing it throughout the week, just kind of painting yourself around your auric field, bringing that boundary up and around and claiming that space, saying that I have this space and I am safe. Beautiful. Now, people pleasing often holds up an identity. That you're the good one or the easy one or the helper, the one who doesn't need much. But eventually that cost becomes too high. Your body starts asking, where am I in this? When do I get to matter? Who am I without self-abandonment? That discomfort isn't failure, it's growth. So we want to understand true empathy does not require self-erasure. So true empathy includes choice, consent, pacing, reciprocity, and just know you are allowed to care and protect yourself. You are allowed to be kind and have limits. And you are also allowed to say no without an explanation. So maybe try that this week. Give yourself a moment where you could say no to something that just is more of a people-pleasing thing that you always do. Somebody always asks for your help to do something, and they can rely on you all the time to do it. I want you to be able to say no. And just see how that feels. Now, you're going to probably feel guilt and shame and anxiety from saying the no. But as we keep building that muscle and that boundary, it'll get easier with time. And the guilt and shame does start drifting away, and you won't carry it as much. So let me know how it goes this week when you say no. And no without an explanation. See if you can get away without giving an explanation of why you are saying no. And let me know how that goes for you. So if you've been stuck in this people pleasing, and it doesn't mean that you're weak because you've been stuck in this cycle. It just means your nervous system learned a very clever way to survive. And now it's ready to learn something new. So find your safety with your boundary, and with your safety and boundary, it becomes easier to come back to yourself, and the nervous system starts to heal, and the people-pleasing starts to wane. So if you did learn something new today, go ahead and subscribe. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Share this with an empath who puts herself last. And you can also download the free nervous system reset PDF at my website, mindfulwellness.me. You don't have to earn safety anymore. You're allowed to take up space. So I'll see you in the next episode. This episode supported you. Share it with another empath who needs it. And if you're ready for deeper work, somatic coaching, nervous system healing, or my Embodied Reset program, just visit mindfulwellness.me. Your healing is not a solo journey. See you next week.